Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new series on this channel. Welcome to the last to first F1 23 World Championship. Let me explain what's happening then. Each driver will get at least one run-in during this season. There are 23 races, some might get it twice, but we'll see how the championship goes. Today, we'll be driving as Lando Norris in the McLaren tractor around qualifying time then around Bahrain. Very wide from Lando Norris here, who we are on board with. Currently, it's George Russell who's claiming pole position. Until the last corner then, it looks like it... What on earth? Oh, no! Oh, good grief! Oh, my goodness me. Oh, it's a massive miscalculation. Lando Norris has absolutely flown into the barrier. Let's watch this again. He thinks he has the grip, the aerodynamics to go full throttle. He's miscalculated. He tries to correct it, but it's not enough. In the barrier for the McLaren man, walks into the garage with disgust and, well, egg on his face, to be honest. He'll be very disappointed with that result, which puts him at the back of the grid. It's an unfortunate scenario for him, but what is actually even more fortunate for the rest of the grid, George Russell has pulled out an absolute masterstroke. Qualifies half a tenth ahead of the Red Bull of Max Verstappen, who is clear favourite for this championship. Perez, though, not too far behind him. Then we have the Ferraris, Alonso in 6th, Hamilton in 7th, Stroll 8th, Bottas 9th, brilliant from the Alfa Romeo man, the Alpines 10th and 11th. My teammate Piastri, as I'm driving as Lando, in 14th, we're last. I will admit, might have miscalculated how much grip I had into the last corner. I thought with a new handling model I could have done it, but alas it wasn't to be. We are starting last for the first race of the season. Not to worry though, race day is redemption day, and that's exactly what we're going to do. 5 red lights at the Sakhir International Circuit. Go out now, and we begin the last to first championship, and it's a cracking start on the soft tyres. De Vries immediately dispatched of as we enter the slipstream of Yuki Tsunoda, tentatively braking into turn 1. We say no, sir. We're claiming as many positions as possible. Bottas has had a shocker from P9. We're going up to P13, just like that. 6 or 7 places gained in the space of one braking zone and a couple of corners, and surely even more to gain as we carry on through turn number 4. It looks like Hamilton's not had a great start either. The Mercedes duo have started on the medium tyres. The rest of us are on softs. We have the advantage in grip. Switch back on Alexander Albon. Braking hard. Hülkenberg squeezes out the space that we were going to try and go into. We actually worm our way into it on the outside of the next corner and use the ERS to get alongside down the inside into this complex hairpin, almost pushing Hamilton through the corner. When we claim P11 on the fringes of points, and we're harrying Hamilton down this back straight. He himself harrying Ocon, well, partially probably going defensive because we've got Riz. But Lewis Hamilton said no to that particular eventuality. He's looking to reclaim his 9th place that he somehow ended up in at the beginning of the don't ask, it was a shambles of a start for him. Meanwhile, this McLaren's feeling extremely hooked up. Qualifying, I did actually try on my qualifying lap. As you can tell, it didn't go very well, so I thought the full throttle last corner was the way to go. I was wrong, as you can probably tell. But it seems to be paying dividends. Hamilton and Ocon making contact. We try to switch back. We're sliding all over the place, but we are going to pikey that slipstream. We're going to have a good suck, and with a good suck comes a great reward. Hamilton providing us with the opportunity we need to send one down the inside of both of them. There might be contact. There is contact. It's not a great scenario to be in, but Ocon and Hamilton still fighting as they go through the next set of corners. Look at this again. 3 wide into turn 1. We do make contact. We just understeered wide into Hamilton. A pure racing incident, but we had the confidence to continue on our way. Well, if that's what we can do after 2 laps, I am intrigued to see what kind of wizardry we can conjure up after the next 12 laps to come. Fastest lap of the race set by the Red Bull. Look how far ahead he is. My goodness me. He's flown off there. The medium tyres really are not fired up currently, but we've got the tyre advantage against Hamilton behind us, and we are actually keeping him at bay, while Stroll and Gasly hopefully will start fighting very soon, and that will invite us into their battle with DRS being enabled during this lap. And come the end of the lap, oh, look at that. We are within a second of Gasly and Stroll. Gasly surely will go for a move on the Aston Martin. Man, it's going to be annihilation from the Alpine. It's not even close. Stroll not driving well at all. We set our best lap of the race so far in the meantime. But the bad news is, because Gasly absolutely lunched Stroll, we don't get DRS for the next section, which means we can't get close enough to Stroll or Gasly to make any real damage, which is unfortunate. However, this is a long game, remember, the last to first challenge. It's not that long, actually. It's 14 laps, 25% race distance, to be specific. But, you know, there's opportunities to come about from this. My setup, I made a mistake. I have a recording which you won't see because it was terrible. But in that particular recording, I had a lower downforce setup, and stuff like that, getting right onto the back of Stroll, just wasn't a regular occurrence. I had no grip in the corners. I thought the straight line pace would help, but I never got this close, harrying Stroll through the hairpin, almost going around the outside. Unheard of. Completely unheard of, actually. But we bide our time. We are patient. We have DRS. We open it up. We guzzle that air. Stroll trying to catch up to Pierre Gasly will brake a little bit early. We see the gap open up and Stroll sees us coming, and that's P8. We double our points tally from 2 to 4, and this progress in the McLaren, despite everything pre-season has taught us so far, is proving to be absolute twaddle. P8 is ours. This just in, folks. I think we're going to triple our points tally suddenly in the space of 3 laps. What progress we've made in this McLaren. Even better news, the Ferraris and the Aston Martin of Fernando Alonso are fighting very hard indeed, and we're closing into them. So there's a chance for some even bigger points. My goodness me. Good grief. My hairs on my arms and neck and everywhere else are standing on. Stop getting ideas, but they are standing on end, because that was an absolutely disgusting send. But it was received well by Pierre Gasly, who did not turn in on us like we weren't there. He did see us coming. He knew we were a freight train coming through down the inside. And it's P7 in this Bahrain Grand Prix. Unbelievable. Even the top 3 aren't too far out of reach at the moment. So this could get very interesting, as Leclerc made a small mistake ahead of Alonso. That allows us to close in even more. We've gapped Gasly by a second already into the hairpin. Look at this. Oh, yes, we are sniffing his rear end like a rabid Rottweiler. It's beautiful to see. We thought we had the traction on him as well, but the DRS open. The straight line speed of the Aston Martin is clearly far superior as we enter the 3rd sector here. Alonso's compromised his entry. We're trying to go round the outside here. Alonso squeezes us and unsurprisingly has lower aero than us, therefore is able to escape just for a little while. But all that fighting we've done with him has put him out of DRS range of Leclerc up ahead, meaning P6 is well and truly on. 4 laps. Are we quadrupling our points tally? Well, you're about to find out. Oh my god, that was awful. Down the main straight we go. Opening the DRS at the line now. Alonso doesn't have DRS. Our pit window is open, but not before we absolutely annihilate Fernando Alonso into the braking zone. He sees us on the inside. Respectful racing as always. The pensioner has been dispatched. P6 is ours for the taking. End of the lap, we keep a stable gap to Alonso and somewhat actually catch the Ferraris. So now is the opportune time to come into the pits for a fresh set of medium boots. Now, it's at this juncture, as I get a little bit sideways out of the final corner, but nothing we can't handle. It's at this point I'd like to add, they did some balancing tweaks for this game, and I'd like to show you one of them now, by making the pit box completely impossible to see. That's really good. Luckily, at least the clock is still there, and we turn into the box with no problems whatsoever. The Ferrari will hold us up slightly. 2.3 seconds, though. Great stop indeed. Somehow Marbles in the pit lane. Not entirely sure how. But anyway, we'll gloss over that. At the end of the day, we are going to rejoin in a net P6. Fantastic stuff. And we will look to secure this for the rest of the... Oh, no! Oh, good grief. Hamilton's completely done us. And I thought he was going to be on hards. I saw a Mercedes earlier around the track, which I forgot to mention, so obviously I didn't see it. But I thought he would have gone on hards. He pitted a lap earlier than us on lap 6. But suddenly, he's on the soft tyres. And we were down in P14. It was a disaster, but of course, no one else had pitted. And luckily for us, we do manage to just undercut Alonso, close that door on him, and now with fresh set of medium tyres booted on our wagon, we can set after the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. Hamilton dispatches of both Ferraris in very quick succession indeed. Or does he? Sainz is proving a very tough customer indeed. The Chile is looking to curb Hamilton's charge at a rapid rate of knots. Still, DRS is open. Hamilton to the inside. Leclerc's on the outside. It could get very dicey here at turn number 4. And Hamilton's going to lose out to both of them. Unbelievable. The strategy of going onto the softs hasn't paid off. Both Ferraris have completely done him with some brilliant teamwork. And we're going to now have our part to the inside. Overcook it slightly. Hamilton doesn't get the switchback though. And suddenly we're in P6 once again, claiming back what is rightfully ours in this race. Next target, both the Ferraris. Let's do it. Oh my god, they're fighting. This is perfect, ladies and gentlemen. The hunt is on. Two horses are going to be looking very sad and hopeless, and like my Christmas dinner. Not that I have horse for Christmas dinner, it's a figure of speech. Anyway, look, best lap of the race set. Leclerc and Sainz fighting. Sainz had DRS, he reclaims the position, so they have to be line astern. What they don't count on is the outside line being open. The momentum is ours, and it's P5! Leclerc dispatched of. He was caught napping, and we have DRS on Sainz. He's looking vulnerable as we dump the battery to the inside, sending it through. He turns in on us. There's contact. No, I don't believe. Actually, no, I do believe it. We were in way too late there. We completely overshot it and overestimated the pace that we had compared to him. Luckily, no damage on our car, which would have been the nail in the coffin, really. But hopefully, we can just cement this position for the rest of the race. P4. P4, 12 points in this McLaren car would be unbelievable. But into the last corner, you didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you? Ferrari have something to say about that, and believe me, they will take it to the bitter end, as Sainz has DRS, is lapping up that slipstream. The drag on this McLaren and the setup we've chosen have hindered us completely. Sainz goes through. The outside is still open. We're going to try and hold it round the outside. Marbles on the tyres. The grip is absolutely screaming at me for resuscitation. We don't need it, though. We bring them back to life. We coax some more resuscitation into them. We take back P4. And now both Ferraris are fighting. Oh, it is glorious, ladies and gentlemen. Bahrain, there's nothing quite like it. The gap, 1.2 seconds to Charles Leclerc as we look to escape even more. The car biting in beautifully into the right-hander. Fantastic stuff. 1.4 seconds, the gap now as we go through the hairpin here on lap 12. And I think we can afford to take it nice and easy now. I believe we do have the pace to keep both Leclerc and Sainz behind. So providing there are no other mishaps that happen on our end, or of the sharp end, really, there can be nothing else that happens in our favour. What's this? Yellow flag. It's not in front of us, but something's happened. There's a Williams off at the hairpin, and it must have been a spin. I don't believe it. They were running in a beautiful position. I can't speak. That's how shocking it is. It's not really that shocking. Albon's binned it. No way has he binned it. A shocking situation. We don't actually get to see how it happened. We see just the end of the spin. And look at that. Albon has gone down from nearly being in the top 10 to now being nowhere near. But last lap of the Grand Prix, Verstappen and Russell were fighting down the straight. Russell had second for such a long time, but Verstappen on his medium tyres, which have faded slower, and that Red Bull, which is arguably way quicker, takes back P2. The Red Bull monopoly is still here in career mode, and I don't see it changing for a while. Sergio Perez is your winner for the first race of the F1 23 Last to First Championship. The podium is set in stone, but Lando Norris, ourselves, is going to take P4 in the first race of this Last to First Championship. An incredible result. McLaren on the board with some massive points at the start, beating both Ferraris, beating Hamilton, both Aston Martins. It's a result that they'll love to see. Driver of the day, you love to see it. Whew!
A fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the desert. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
I'd rather drink lava, personally. Anyway, great result for Red Bull. It's exactly what you would expect in this championship, as Perez and Verstappen monopolised the first two positions. Russell, though, did a good job. He did take pole, only just, but the strategy let him down today. Had he started on the softs and carried on with that same strategy as the Red Bulls, he might have had a fighting chance, but the gamble did not pay off in the end. So it sees Adrian Newey, the prune himself, on the podium with both the Red Bull drivers. The champagne or sprayed or whatever they spray now, and as they drink sweet nothings, let's firstly clear our throat, but secondly look at that scoreboard. Albon did come last in the end, unfortunately. It's pain for him, but for us it's pure joy and jubilation. P4 out there. The two Brits claiming third and fourth. Hamilton, unfortunately, the same strategy as Russell, fell off completely on the last lap, ended up P9. Again, if he had that same soft to medium strategy, there's a chance he could have actually improved his result, given us a hard time, but it was not to be, unfortunately, for the 7-time, technically 8-time world champion. Shut up. I do say that Red Bull are monopolising the championship, and they are currently, even in this series they are. But with the way we're driving in some of the lower teams, there is a chance that we potentially influence the complexion of both championships. We'll have to find out, though. There's plenty of races to come. Who knows what we're going to be or who we're going to drive as in Saudi Arabia. Before that, though, let's take a look at the Drivers' Championship standings for the first round. Yes, you can tell the graphics department worked overtime for this particular table. But as you can see, Sergio Perez leads the Drivers' standings with Max Verstappen in second, George Russell in third for Mercedes. The rest of the top 10 you saw before, so you know exactly what it's going to look like. But in the Constructors, Red Bull are ahead, but it's very close behind that. Ferrari just 1 point ahead of Mercedes, and McLaren not too far behind either. Aston Martin always have a good chance as well. You've seen how fast they are and can be, so there's no reason to doubt them in this championship. Who knows what it will be like as we go through? You'll just have to wait and see. Until then, thank you very much for watching the first round of the Last to First World Championship. If you did enjoy it, please like it so I know you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you enjoy me. Do you know what? Just subscribe anyway and ring that bell as well so you don't miss what happens in this Last to First World Championship. Plenty of overtaking, potentially plenty of drama as we go on. Maybe it will change the complexion of Formula 1 as we know it. Probably not. But perhaps there will be a new world champion to be crowned. Who will it be? You'll just have to wait and see. But until the next race in Saudi Arabia at the Jeddah Corniche circuit, I thank you once again for watching. And until next time, I'll see you soon.